Season 4, Episode 6, Stoicism at War, the Soldier and the Sacred Ground. He marched before dawn, the sand still cool beneath his boots, and the city in the distance already alive with smoke. The land stretched, scarred by centuries of promise, conquest and devotion. Everyone claimed it. Everyone believed that promise was theirs. It was sacred. Some believed it was given by God to Abraham's children centuries ago. Others had lived, prayed and died here for generations, guarding mosques and streets sacred to their faith. Empires rose and fell. Prophets walked these hills, and soldiers like him were born to inherit their wars, whether they wanted to or not. But he believed in this fight, not because he sought glory, but because meaning demanded it. Every step, every breath was tethered to the weight of history, faith, and promises older than memory itself. Crisis 1. The Illusion of Control. The first battle came without warning. Artillery shook the ground, screams echoed from collapsed buildings, and chaos swallowed order. He had trained, prepared, studied strategy, but none of it mattered in the moment. The enemy wasn't just the soldiers, it was the terrain, the smoke, and the unpredictability of death. For a moment he thought, maybe all the preparation was a lie. But he held to his belief. He fought because he thought he should, because he thought it was right. Duty and conviction were enough to keep him moving. Crisis 2. Witnessing loss and hatred. Bodies fell to the ground. Comrades, strangers, civilians. He couldn't save them. He couldn't even reach them. Rage surged. Why them? Why take them from me, from all of us? His heart wanted revenge. He wanted the enemy dead, to make their loss count. The pull of vendetta was unmistakable. The human instinct to repay blood with blood, to let hatred carry meaning where reason falls. Amid the smoke, he glimpsed the hills, the streets, the ruins, and he remembered something. He remembered the stories, the historical and religious stories, the sacred ground. Jews claimed this land as promised to Abraham. Muslims claimed this land as home for generations, sacred under minarets and mosques. History had layered conquest upon conquest, blood upon blood, faith upon faith. And here he was, a single life, swept into the momentum of promises older than himself. Each step carried the weight of belief and devotion. Crisis 3. Moral collapse. Orders arrived that shook him, actions that could harm civilians, or that demanded he abandon comrades. Every choice seemed wrong. Obey and preserve life at the cost of innocence? Refuse and risk annihilation? Rage flared, vendetta whispered, hatred tempted him. Strike first, make them suffer as we have. Then a memory surfaced. Epictetus, born a slave, crippled, powerless in ways that the soldier could barely imagine. And yet, Epictetus had said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. The words cut through certainty. Epictetus didn't tell him what to do. He reminded him of the one thing still within reach: his own mind and his own actions. Crisis 4. Loss of self. He fell back from the fight. Buildings were levelled, friends, neighbours, even his own sense of purpose gone. He asked himself, who am I if I am not a soldier? If I am not righteous? If the cause I believed in has cost everything I love? Hatred lingered, venomous and seductive. He could justify it, rationalise it, act on it, but each act would bind him tighter to the war. Each act would steal something from the person he hoped to remain. Stoicism whispered again, not comfort, not absolution, only you can still choose. You can still act rightly, even here. Crisis 5. Choosing to live and rebuild. Days blurred into nights. Hunger, thirst and fatigue pressed on him like stones. He could not undo the deaths, could not restore the lost homes, could not rewrite the sacred claims of the land. But he could decide. He would not let vengeance define him. He would not let hatred consume him. He would act with courage and restraint and moral clarity where he could. Even now, amid rubble and ash, he reclaimed a fragment of himself. Agency, virtue, reason. Yet the question remained, is this enough? Is Stoicism alone enough to carry a man through this loss, through this grief, through the knowledge of everything he cannot control? He glimpsed others praying, calling out to God, seeking something beyond their own discipline and reason. Perhaps this was what sustained them. Perhaps there is something Stoicism cannot give, something that faith, grace, or transcendence provides. He did not know. He only knew he would continue, one step at a time, through the storm, holding to what he could control, holding to the self that had survived. This story is not about winning, not about politics, allegiance or victory. It is about a single human being navigating history, loss, belief, and suffering in a land sacred to many, claimed by many, and scarred by conflict. He believed, he lost, he raged, he endured, he survived. And in that survival, the struggle continues, the weight of choice, the pull of vengeance, the fragility of identity, and the eternal effort to act rightly in a world that offers no mercy.